JSB Talks Digital.
Hello and welcome to JSB Talks Digital, the podcast for marketers, digital transformation champions, and those of you bringing your skills into the digital age. I'm Joanne Sweeney-Burke and this podcast is brought to you by Digital Training Institute. In this episode, number 84, I talk about how we can all be successful in our professional lives, remembering that success is different for all of us. Coming up in today's show, in social media news, LinkedIn integrates groups into newsfeed. Twitter announces in-app notifications about your reports. And Vine 2 is on its way. I interview Jack Daly, global sales influencer, author and speaker. Shoutouts, 3 of Jack Daly's nuggets of gold for success. Ask JSB. In JSB's column, My Only Fuel is Passion. And find out what social media tool saved my working week.
Social media news.
LinkedIn emailed me this week. They wrote to me to let me know that they are currently working on changes to the LinkedIn Groups experience. Their aim is to make groups a bigger part of the main LinkedIn newsfeed. In their email, they said, "Our focus is reintegrating groups back into the core LinkedIn experience, which means that we will no longer be able to support a standalone iOS app for groups. That app will stop working as of February 15th, 2018, but please know that your existing group memberships and contributions will not be affected as part of that change." With their new changes, you'll be able to discover and access groups more easily. You will see them right from the homepage, and you'll also see the latest content from your groups in notifications and the homepage feed. You can also be part of richer conversations by being able to post videos in your groups, tagging people with @mentions, and also keeping the conversation going by replying to comments. Have you ever reported a tweet, a Twitter user, or a hashtag? If, like me, you have, then you've probably wondered what happened to your report. Now Twitter is committing to updating users who made reports with in-app notifications. These updates provide more information about the progress of any submitted reports, detailing the results of any report, and listing the specific rules that were broken. Prompted by the Women Boycott Twitter hashtag, Twitter began to update its reporting tools in December. Twitter now has stronger rules on revenge porn, sexual harassment, sensitive images, videos, spam, hate speech, or violence. So, make sure you use the report button if you need to. Vine 2 is on its way, or should I say, on its way back. Founder Dom Hoffman is now apparently building a new version of the app. On one of his tweets, he says, "Since early December, we've been working on Vine 2, and they've also set up a series of Twitter accounts." He tweeted that Vine 2 will no longer be connected with Twitter. It will be a standalone company. The Vine 2 app will be free when it launches in public beta at the end of January. It will feature a more flexible user interface and is being built on both iOS and Android. Users will be able to both promote and monetize their content on the platform, and the app will have a no-name policy. If you get the name first, nobody can claim it. Stand by on the App Store to claim your Vine 2 account with your brand name.
Interview.
In this episode, I interview Jack Daly. I heard Jack speak at Pendulum in Dublin, where he shared a stage with Richard Branson and other global influencers. However, I met Jack 2 days later at Momentum Dublin, organised by personal development coaches and authors Jerry Duffy, George Anderson and Pat Davily. Jack is a leading sales speaker and trainer with over 30 years of sales and executive experience. His track record is a testament to his real-world knowledge and extensive expertise in sales and sales management. He is an international speaker, author, and during his career sold 2 companies to Wall Street. Here's what Jack had to say to me about building a successful career.
JSB Talks Digital.
Jack Daly, you're here in Dublin. You've been inspiring business people, professionals and individuals for the past number of days. First of all at the 2-day Pendulum Summit, and now here at Momentum, organised by Jerry Duffy, Pat Davley and George Anderson. Now, originally you are Irish because your grandparents come from Ireland. What is that spark that makes you such a successful business person, but also now a successful business coach? Is there one thing that gives you that spark that we all can learn from?
Absolutely. And so passion is the key. It unlocks all the doors to success. What I say is, if you're not passionate about what you do, quit and pursue your passion. So many people are in jobs that they don't like, and they feel obligated because they have to pay the rent, or they have to pay for their car, or they have to pay for groceries. But I will tell you that if you pursue your passion, the money will track you down. I was running an organization with 2,600 salespeople, and then I realized that I had lost my passion, and I just left the organization, sold the company, and started anew 22 years ago as a speaker. And I became the starving speaker. No one knew me. I didn't know what I was doing, and I had to learn something from the ground up. And today, I'm quite different from the standpoint of measurements of success. But the reason is I was passionate about it. And I can go back and tell you about being passionate about selling newspapers, and then finding a way to get the kids to deliver them for me so that I could sell some more newspapers. It's all about the passion. I don't think that I've ever worked. All I've done is pursued my passion. And as I say, the money sort of figures itself out.
But lots of people, Jack, watching this will say, well, he would say that because everything worked out for him. But they have the fear. The fear is stopping them.
So anyone who has any history of success that tells you that they didn't have the other side is giving you a bill of goods, a bad bill of goods. Look, I had a company in 1998 that was ranked the 10th fastest growing company in the United States. We had 10,100% growth. This is remarkable stuff. My company, that company was making $1 million a month in earnings. 15 months later, I stood in front of our 275 employees, and I let 240 of them go in a day. Because the markets had shifted on us and we were losing a massive amount of money. And so the success and the failures are all part and parcel of it all along the way.
And you sold 2 of your companies to Wall Street. I mean, how does that feel? How do you build up companies so big that you get to that stage? I guess, many of us would look at that and it's almost like unfathomable success.
Yeah. So I live in California today. I grew up on the East Coast in the States, and I moved there to California for the weather. I brought 3 people with me, and the 4 of us 18 months later had grown to 750 people, all organic growth. And what we decided was, first of all, we wanted to do something that Jim Collins calls a BHAG, a big, hairy, audacious goal. And we set our big, hairy, audacious goal for 1 location in California. And when we achieved that, what we said is, we'll build a playbook that this is the way we built this one, and we'll do 20 more in different parts of the country. And so we built that, we achieved that in 15 months, and then over the next 3 years, that company scaled to 750 people and $42 million in earnings. The key was building a playbook off of the successful systems and processes that we discovered in building out the first location. So a sales manager's job is not to grow sales, and that's one of the misnomers in life. A sales manager's job is to grow sales people in quantity and quality. And if you grow salespeople in quantity and quality, they in turn will grow your sales. So scaling, or what I call hyper sales growth, comes by virtue of focusing on how can I grow them in quantity and quality.
Now, focus, you say, comes before success, and those that succeed have a laser sharp focus. And success you've also brought into other areas of your life, and of course you wrote down your goals. And one of those was completing an Ironman. And your most recent one, I believe, was last year. Am I right?
2 years ago, yeah.
2 years ago, and you told a wonderful story at Pendulum where you said everybody had to write their age on their leg, and you saw all these numbers. So at the time, am I correct, you were in your mid to late 60s?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, and you saw all these younger numbers running past you, and it was turning like something that could have mentally affected you into something positive. So when you said, when I was coming last, nobody could pass me out. And I tell you, I tweeted you because a year ago, I undertook my first half marathon, trained myself, but wrote down the goal, and every day I exercised my muscles, and I came last in that half marathon. So last, everybody was gone. I didn't get to cross the line finish, but I tell you, that race and that feeling, it was my goal. And a lot of what you talk about as well is, you know, don't care about what other people are doing. Success is personal.
Absolutely,
to you. Yeah.
You betcha, and congratulations on getting
Thanks
through.
very much.
No, seriously, you know, a half marathon is quite the task, and I started running 5Ks initially. Now I ran my first marathon at 46 years old. I've now run 90 full marathons, but I can remember when I wasn't able to run one street length of a quarter mile, and now you know, it's just, how do you eat an elephant? Take a bite at a time, and that's how you do an Ironman, or you do a marathon, or you do a half marathon. It's 1K at a time. Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the other nuggets that you share with audiences is finding your master and finding your role model. And boy, Jerry told a lovely story about Jack Daly before he brought you on stage, and then you got on stage and you told a lovely story about Jerry and him being your role model. We actually don't know where our role models are, and perhaps within ourselves we don't realize that we are potentially role models to other people.
Yeah, you betcha. Anybody that has kids needs to be very sensitive that whether you're signing up to be a role model or not, you are a role model by definition. And that's always inspired me, that if I could find a way to show my kids what they're capable of and do it by way of my behavior, then it's not just talk, it's walking the talk. Yeah.
So we're very early into 2018, and you talk about how we should organize the number 1668, the hours that we have in the week. What advice are you going to give to people that are watching and who are going to listen to this podcast about making the most of the year ahead and taking control and not letting the year take control of you?
Yeah, so the 168 is a very, very important number to me, because you actually don't have the 168. So if you start to think about things, we need to sleep. So if you read what's in your best interest health-wise, then you should be getting about 8 hours a day of sleep. So if there's 7 days in a week, that's 56 that just came off the 168 that we don't have to use, right? Now we have to eat. We know we need to eat. And so how many hours are we going to spend eating? And we start to take maybe 3 hours a day to do the eating. Well, that's 21 more hours. So now I'm already under 100 hours. Now we need to do some commuting time. We need to do some work. We need to do some interaction with our kids and our wife or our husband, our spouse, our significant other. And all of a sudden, that 168 shrinks to something that's closer to maybe 60, 50. Now it's really precious. So what I like doing is managing my life by a calendar and acting as if I'm a doctor with doctor appointments. And so every half hour or hour is specifically allocated to whatever is on my list as a, what I call HPA, high payoff activity. And if you were to follow that discipline and follow that plan on a weekly and daily basis, then your annual goals and your bucket list things, they happen. They just happen.
So really, Jack, there is no such thing as I have no time.
People that say they don't have the time have already got a negative going on in there. It's what you choose to do with your time. We own the 168.
Jack Daly, an absolute pleasure to talk to you and to see you twice in 1 week. How amazing is that?
There we go.
What a surprise today, and thank you so much for joining me on JSB Talks Digital.
My pleasure.
Shoutouts.
In this part of the show, I give shoutouts to brands, organisations or individuals whose work online is remarkable and worth talking about. In this episode, I'm giving shoutouts to 3 of Jack Daly's amazing success tips.
1.
For many years, Jack has been highlighting the importance of regular touch points with your prospects, customers and clients. This is easy, right, in the digital age. Simply tag them in a few social media updates. However, Jack means something more meaningful. He recommends taking photos on site at client meetings, on your travels, and on other occasions, and turning them into photo cards with personalised messages. Jack says, these simple cards have generated several hundreds of thousands of dollars in business over the past couple of years, and the momentum continues to grow. Order your own send-out cards at sendoutcards.com.
2.
Jack has developed 21 essential sales and leadership tips, but here are my top 5 favourite. Trust trumps price all day long. Selling is the transfer of trust. Model the masters and learn from the best. Things that get measured get done. We are what we think we are. Raise the bar. If you want to read Jack's 21 tips in full, then you can download his leadership PDF at jackdaly.net.
3.
Jack says that persistence is one of the most, if not the most, important components in a salesperson's toolbox. Following up, cutting through objections with tailored solutions, listening, and asking questions will pay off with the sale. Find out more about Jack, download all these resources, and watch his videos on jackdaly.net.
JSB.
This week, I'm answering a question that I get asked all the time. So next time I'm asked it, I will just direct people to episode 84 of JSB Talks Digital. And the question is, JSB, where do you get your energy from to keep producing digital content at the rate you do and to continue on your digital travels? So let's just put it on the record. My consumption of drugs to help fire me up consists of a vitamin C and a probiotic every morning, followed by hot water and lemon. I've always had lots of natural energy, and thankfully it has stayed with me through 4 whole decades. But the biggest secret is that I create a working life that I love, love, love. I surround myself with clients and team members who understand me and what I can bring to the digital party. Trust me, enthusiasm that radiates back to me recharges my batteries every time. Call it client and team solar energy. If you have a burning social media or digital marketing question or a particular question for JSB, simply click on digitaltraininginstitute.ie/askjsb and leave me a voicemail. You can also send me your question to any of our social networks.
JSB's column.
In today's JSB column, I share insights into how I have developed a business which is based around a mindset of passion. You see, my only fuel is passion. If I'm not passionate about anything I'm working on, I simply won't work on it. I will pass it on and get somebody who is fired up to get the job done. But this rarely happens. You see, what most of my clients don't realise is that part of my own criteria to begin working with them on a new project is that They have to have as much passion for the project as I do. If I'm not feeling it and think I am the wrong person, I will generally turn it down and perhaps even recommend a colleague in the industry. I think this is a really good model for success because I know deep down that I will show up as my very best self each and every time for my clients. If I'm there with you, you have my full attention, and my brain, which is on overdrive considering new directions and creative solutions, is doing it just for you. Here's what else fuels me in business. Projects that need digital solutions, industries that are afraid of digital change. I'm a great motivator. People that inspire me because of their passion. Public interest campaigns, ones that make a real difference in the world. Storytelling projects which require a digital legacy, and events that bring a room full of people together with a shared vision for digital improvement. As Jack Daly says in our interview, if you want to be successful, focus all your working time to things that you are passionate about. And of course, as the old saying goes, you'll never work a day in your life. If you would like to hire a fully fueled JSB for a digital project that you're passionate about, then get in touch. Simply drop me an email to joanne@digitaltraining.ie.
Social media tool of the week.
The tool that saved my working week this week is Blue Nod. Blue Nod is a simple way to find influencers with Twitter visualization. You can also manage your Twitter lists directly, export data, and get more insights on hashtags. To help you build a community, you can target topic-related communities, identify influencers and their networks, and ultimately connect with them to find shared interests and common goals. I'm currently using it to build up my own community of public sector marketing professionals. You can try it for free at bluenod.com. Thank you so much for tuning into episode number 84 of JSB Talks Digital. As always, I have everything discussed on today's show, including all the links on my award-winning blog at digitaltraining.ie. Please subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. You can find JSB Talks Digital on Spotify, iTunes, Libsyn, Stitcher, and SoundCloud. Don't forget that you can influence my shows. If there's a topic that you want me to talk about, then get in touch. Send me a tweet to @tweets by JSB. Get in touch via our Facebook page, Digital Training Institute. You can also snap me to JSB Snaps, or I'm on Instagram as JSB Grams. I'm Joanne Sweeney-Burke. This is JSB Talks Digital. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.
JSB Talks Digital.